Hello everyone, welcome to Juris Edge Academy. In this new series, where we will be presenting you insights and approach we should follow for various examination in the field of law, whether it be your PG entrance examination or NET UGC examination or other various examination of similar nature. So this is a series where we will be picking up various examination and we will be bringing you the various insights and methods and course structures and insights and ways to approach your preparation regarding those examinations. Also, we will be providing you that what all examinations are there, which everyone whosoever is appearing for, whether masters or NET UGC or any other course of similar nature in the legal field. So what all are those examinations are. So this will be going a series regarding and bringing up an awareness or information or knowledge about the various examination conducted countrywide regarding the legal field and what all is required to approach those examination. So in this series, the first examination which I am going to pick up is for NET UGC 2021 or in general NET UGC examination. In this part, we will be dealing with the introduction, like basic introduction of this examination as to what this examination is, why this examination is, and what all are the requirements or what all are the background research for such examination. So basically NET UGC is an examination which is mandatory for everyone to clear if the person has to go into the field of academics after their undergraduation course. But this examination can only be taken up only if you are enrolled in your master program or if you have completed your master program up to the age of 30 years. Before that, it is mandatory for everyone who is preparing or who is planning to go into academics, whether it be a research or job purpose, whatsoever is the reason, it is mandatory to pick this examination and clear the cutoff. It's basically an examination for the purpose like All India Bar examination. You have to clear it for your practicing. Similar is the nature of NET UGC. You have to clear it to have the minimum standard for getting enrolled into any research purpose or job. Coming to why this examination, as I've already told, generally people pick this examination if they have to get themselves enrolled into any research orientation program, mainly in India, which is PhD program. So if you have to enroll yourself in any PhD program across the colleges in India, this is a mandatory entrance examination which you have to qualify to appear or to propose your candidature for the position of PhD into any research or into any academic college in the India. So now the basic difference is it's the examination, though being mandatory, is not a mandatory across all the colleges in India. In India, there are colleges as well which take their separate entrance examination for PhD students to get them enrolled in PhD examination, and there are colleges in which NET is a mandatory requirement that only those who have cleared NET could appear or could propose their candidature or research proposal for getting enrolled in PhD curriculum. So, for example, if I tell you the Central University of Banaras and the university, basically, there's a requirement that a candidate should have cleared the NET examination to propose his candidature or research proposal for the purpose of PhD enrollment in the college. Whereas in the same position, if I say about Nalsa University of Hyderabad, there they have the preference that those who have already appeared for NET examination and cleared it, they could directly send their research proposal, but at the same time they give you an option to appear for an entrance examination where if you clear the examination, you are then being asked to send your research proposal for the same and get enrolled accordingly. So though being a mandatory examination, this is not yet mandatory across the nation. It is still at some places it is college specific, but if we see the larger picture, this is a important examination where you have an access to various number of colleges directly rather than giving entrance examination for each of the college. Next, with you clearing the position of net, there's a gateway which opens for you for the field of assistant professors in various private universities mostly. Because what happens in the government or the state university, there's a mandatory guidelines of UGC where you have to proper PhD candidate to appear or to apply for the position of assistant professor as well. But in various private university, your gateway to apply directly on the position of assistant professor or any research assistant gets open once you have qualified the examination of NET. Now we will see when this examination is conducted generally. So because of the pandemic in 2020, where every examination got delayed beyond its limit or schedule, so was the case with the NET examination of 2020. But generally this examination is held biannually, one in the month of June and another in the month of December. So the basic necessity or requirement for appearing in this examination is you must be enrolled in the field of masters in any law college, or you need to have to clear the master program as such to appear for the examination of NET. Now generally what happen, or the people who are already enrolled in the master program, they have an edge to appear in the December examination only, get qualified with JRF or NET position, and immediately they can grab some good opportunity once they are out of college on the position of research assistant or the assistant professor. But if that's not the case, June is again the attempt for them to appear and then respectively follow their aim as to whatever they are planning or aiming at. So basically June and December are the two timelines in which this examination is being held. In the last slide, I am going to discuss about the cutoff, strategy and the focus area. So like other examination, NET also has a fluctuating cutoff of the marks every year, or if I say biannually, even in the every attempts also. But if we see a general curriculum, then the cutoff ranges between 55 to 65. So this examination is basically divided in the two parts. There is part 1 and there is part 2. For each part there comes a general cutoff. So in this, the part 1 is not connected with any of the fields. As such, I am trying to say that NET is an examination for all these streams. It's not legal specific examination. So every stream has their own subject in this examination, and then there are common subject to clear for this examination. Why common subject? Because like NET is being organized with a purpose to enrich the research orientation and the teaching aptitude basically into the candidates who are pursuing or who want to pursue PhD or want to appear for NET examination. So paper 1 is designed accordingly in the nature where person has to go through the basics of teaching, the very basic subject which we generally are being acknowledged or accustomed till class 10th, like basic mathematics, reasoning, computer science and such, which also comes under a general acumen of a person whosoever is trying or whosoever is aiming in the field of research or academic. So the first paper is basically focused to bring up or to build in the general acumen of research aptitude or academic aptitude into a person. So the subject area in the paper 1 are designed accordingly, which are mainly your research, reasoning, mathematics, general science, computer knowledge and etc. Whereas second paper is subject area focused or field focused, where I say if a person is from legal background, all the subjects are covered are from the law field. If a person is from science background, whatsoever, physics, chemistry, maths, if physics, then the subject areas are related with physics. If chemistry, then the subject areas are related with chemistry. If math, then subject areas are concerned with maths and respectively with other field as well. So here if we come to law, paper 1 is designed accordingly, whatever I told. Paper 2 is focused on the subjects of law. And like every other entrance examination for law, focus areas for law subject are more or less similar. It's mainly the nature of questions which come in our examination are slightly different from other examination. The nature of question and other things we will be discussing in the next part. If we pick up the strategy for this paper, then as I already told, if a person is already enrolled in a master program, then you always have an edge, because if you could clear it in the month of December, and if you got enrolled in the month of July or August, whichever respectively, and then clear it in the month of June, then you have an edge to get the job opportunities or research opportunities immediately once you are done with your masters. If not, then obviously there are other attempts coming forward in your life. Apart from that, to pick a strategy, NET is not something which requires your 24-hour attention regularly. If you have cleared your stages in earlier, like LLB and LLM before, then NET is going to be something which you can carry in your general study program with a devotion of 1 hour each day. Like if you have a good amount of time before examination, like a break of a month or two to focus entirely on the subject, even that is going to suffice. But if not, then you can pick the preparation parallelly with your other curriculum, whether it might be your masters or if you are into job or something, and if you can devote to the time, same. But if not, and if you're totally focused in the NET and you have took a leave regarding the same, then I would suggest a 2-month prior preparation for the examination would an ideal time to pick up if you want to clear examination with a flying marks and clear the JRF as well. What required in this examination most is, because you have already been a part of your LLB and LLM, most of the concepts are clear to you. What requires most is a better understanding of the concept and a regular solving of papers or question paper, past year papers, and understanding the chronology and understanding the pattern in a manner to decode the overall structure and to understand the structure ki how and what type of a questions or how and what type of a topics you have to pick in order to have a better focus on the particular examination. Because once you have done your LLB and LLM, your subject area and interpretation becomes very wide. So for NET, you have to narrow down those once again, like preparing for any entrance like for PG examination or UG, and then prepare accordingly. The focus area, as I have already discussed, for NET examination, focus area divided into 2 parts, question paper part 1 and question paper part 2, where in question paper part 1, the focus areas are mainly your reasoning, mathematics, research aptitude, teaching aptitude, computer knowledge, and other general current affairs, where in law, the subject areas are more or less similar to other nature of examination. If I broadly categorize them, subject areas are again constitutional law, jurisprudence law, international law, contract law, personal laws, criminal laws, civil laws. So again, I couldn't categorize them into fixed subject into a bullet points, but it's more or less your basics of law which you are been reading in your undergraduate and postgraduate programs. It is not going to be something very huge where you have to put very immense interpretative skills, and as such it has to be understanding of the minimum basics concept and have a good grip on the same to decode whatever has been presented to you. A detailed focus or detailed discussion on what all subject areas to pick and prepare accordingly we will be discussing in next video. For this video we will be closing here. I wish all the best to all the aspirants to start off with your preparation regarding NET UGC 2021. Thank you so much.